Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Trade Ideas Live Trading Room for, what are we now, Wednesday, May the 8th. My name is Barry Anderson, moderator of the Trading Room. Guys, I'm short the INGN at 63. Decided it's sort of a tester short. Want to see if it can really crash down. It's already down a lot, 31%. It's an earnings play. There's really no support. And I took that, I was watching it at 63. One of the reasons I took it now, it's already down 31%. Might be really tough to get during the market hours because it's down so much with the uptick rules. So anyway, there I am, short INGN at 63. So I just want to watch it here just a little bit. Okay, I'll get this up here right now very quickly. All right, what else is happening? Actually, there are a couple of really interesting ones. Potbelly, PB, 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 PB. Potbelly, another earnings play. This is on lifetime low. I don't think we have them in Canada. Lifetime low, earnings play, no support. So I'm definitely interested in this one also. And the NVTA, another one that looks interesting on a short. Another one that is, look at this, look at on the weekly chart, there's a support around 14. 200-day moving average is down here around 1550. So another earnings play just underneath the whole number. Just one moment, please. All right. Yeah, you know what? I looked at that DARE. To me, unless I've read this wrong, it looks like all they've done is just publish an article, nothing specifically about a test result that they've got, but just kind of a general article saying that, you know, the sector they're in looks promising. That's what I read. I may be wrong, but I didn't see anything that said anything about their specific drug passing any sort of, you know, phase 1, phase 2, or phase 3. Okay, sorry. Yeah, another one, Triple D. Sorry, I'm sort of jumping around here. I'm watching, of course, the INGN. Triple D, another. This is another one. I don't see any support. I think yeah, underneath that 9 now. I've been watching this one. I think I went back 854 on the weekly chart back in early last year, January last year. So another earnings play. Boy, this sector is just so much promise, but none of these stocks have really caught fire. MPLX, sorry guys, I'm just having to watch the INGN. So is that a meat substitute too, though? Berg? Or is it just a, it's just meat? No, it's a restaurant, okay. You know, with this Beyond Meat, I mean, this is almost like a cultural shift. Now, you know, never mind this specific company, but I mean, there are obviously a lot of people out there that are, I don't even want to use the word socially conscious, but I mean, I have not tried any of this stuff, to be honest. I mean, I've tried soy burgers and all that, but I have not tried any of this. So I have no idea how it tastes. I think actually this weekend I might I might sample just to see what it's like. MPLX, another earnings play. Sorry, I know I am jumping around a little bit. MPLX is another earnings play. And it's a gap down. Wait, look at this. I mean, look at the daily, look at the weekly. So it has some room, a little bit of room. I mean, there might be some support around that 30 level, but if it cracks that, look out. Looks better on the daily, MPLX. Guys, we have a couple of reverse splits today. I don't know if they're probably, well, I shouldn't say they won't make any announcements, but so this is a reverse split today, 1-for-8 reverse split, and the other one is a DMPI, another reverse split. That's a 1-for-10. Lyft, they had their first earnings released today. Still losing a whack of money. They did say that their ridership was up 46% from last year. A Bio was, when I looked at it, was sort of, yeah, a continuation from yesterday. It have a sell-off yesterday from 15, but it's still strong. Again, couldn't see any specific reason, just a low float situation. Traders piled into it. That was that wonderful red bar ignored on the 15-minute chart yesterday. And let's see what else we have. MCK, a gap up, MCK. This is a more expensive one, I believe. Yeah, big gap up for MCK. If you're into those ones, has room. It's through the 200-day moving average, 124.42. So there's MCK. If you look at the weekly chart, there is where probably the resistance is, but that's about $6 away. So and again, Potbelly. So I mean, in the similar vein, I mean, if consumers are going to go away, I mean, Potbelly, what a great name. It basically is truth in advertising. Yeah, so I got bumped out of the INGN. I was watching that. I got actually pretty good fill. So I didn't get hurt too much, but I'm definitely still interested in this underneath 63. Sort of an average of 17 cents. Okay, but I'm going to well, remember, AXGT is a reverse split. So so if your system is showing that it's up big, it really isn't. Remember, it's a reverse split. So unless they come up with some news. And let's see, what's NVTA is the other one I'm very interested in. That's probably, I should have taken this one instead of the INGN. There, I mean, 1309, I mean, right down here, there is a support maybe. There's a 200-day, so again, 1563. So that's $3 away from the 200-day moving average. Okay, let me see. Anybody having problems with the sound? Must be on your end, crypto. All right, let me just take a look at some of the upgrades and downgrades for this morning. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Okay. Okay, well, maybe it's a double whammy then. Maybe it is an earnings play still. You know, there are three here. I mean, the triple D with really no support. I mean, look at them on the weekly chart. Look at this on the daily chart. And the Potbelly, PBPB. And the NVTA. I mean, these are all big gap downs with really no support underneath. Yeah, well, that's why I was watching it like a hockey. You know, that ask was at 63 for a while and sort of getting a little antsy. So I was able to get out. Ken, I'm not sure. Maybe, what browser are you? Yeah, I know. That's why I'm trying to just texted it right there. You can see there's the refresh. All right, let me take a look at some of the upgrades and downgrades this morning. All right, here's some of the upgrades. In retrospect, for me to have shorted that INGN, I didn't pay close enough attention to it. That float is very, very low for a $63 stock. I should have looked at that first. I just didn't. Usually, you know, I don't think about the float when it's a $50, $60 stock, but that float is very, very low. Consequently, it can get pretty whippy. Okay, there are some of the upgrade. Whoops. There are some of the upgrades. Look at the downgrades in now. Walmart. A little downgrade for Walmart. I see a couple of downgrades for something called Farm. To check that out when I finish typing these in. All right, there are some of the upgrades and downgrades. Oh, wait a minute, I had a typed in a symbol wrong. Just give me a second here. All right, there are some of the upgrades and downgrades. Yeah, it's a reverse split, Mother Goose. It's a reverse split. So it's a 1-for-8 reverse split. Man, oh man, that's why you've got to you got to pay attention, especially in the pre-market. See, that's the problem. 21 million in the float. I mean, it's great if it's moving down, but it can be so whippy. A $65 stock, 21 million float. I should have paid more attention to that. Welcome, Crypto. Glad to see you were able to resolve the problem. There's another. I think I didn't mention this one. CBRE. CBRE. It had gapped up. The volume was very, very low. It had gapped up on earnings. You can see why I was looking at it. 52. I think it was almost clear of all this on the daily. What's that high right there? Is 52.90. Yeah, so it was up here. That's why I was maybe a little excited about it. But the volume is very, very low, so you have to wait to see what happens. All right, well, NVTA actually had a bounce too, looking a little bit like INGN in terms of the bounce. Market will open weekly again, in a weak fashion again. No, Satoshi, it's not. Okay, listen to me, guys. AXGT is a reverse split. Okay, so if you're looking at that, your platform has not adjusted for it then. So it's a reverse split, is not up 638%. It's a 1-for-8 reverse split, okay? The same with DMPI. DMPI, another reverse split. And I'm definitely interested in this one today, guys. PSN. PSN will be a IPO today. A couple of big guys behind it. Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley. Looks like 18.5 million shares at 27. That's the IPO price. So if it opens higher than 27, I don't want it to open like at 50 or anything, but opens higher than 57 or 27, giving investors confidence that that it could be something going forward. Could be very interesting even today, but definitely going forward. Oh, and then I short sold it at 63. I took a loss on it, 17-cent loss. Luckily, only a 17-cent loss. I short sold it at 63. I don't know why. Yeah, it should be 3.54 million in the float. Don't know. Yeah. See, sometimes I know this is a bit of a quirk. You don't want to make a habit of this, but what I did was I changed the record count, which is basically to 500. It was at 100 before, which means it's only going to show me 100 symbols. And sometimes I don't know why. I changed it to 500. Now the problem is if you have a lot of top lists open, you change them all to 500, your system can start to bog down, because remember, top lists get updated every 30 seconds. If you have 500 symbols in the list, your system could bog down. But there it is now. But I don't know why it wasn't showing up before. I have no answer for it. Please don't ask me. With 100, it should have, in my opinion. Did I check LTHM? I didn't see it. Okay, yeah, another earnings play. Yeah, down big. There's the TWOU also, yes, coming into a really interesting area on the weekly chart. Another earnings play. Look at all the ones that are down at least $1. There's there it is, LTHM right there. Yeah, I mean, this is lifetime low. Yeah, it's a lifetime low. So it's a lot like the Triple D, the Potbelly, PB, maybe the NVTA if this pull-up doesn't last very long. They all have wonderful looking gaps on the daily and the weekly charts. Yeah, the reason I didn't see it or get to it, there's so many earnings plays. So look at all these earnings plays, all these 0.25s, minus 0.25s. I mean, there's a ton of them. Look at them all. This is the last week like this, guys. We'll have probably tomorrow will be we'll be full of earnings also, and quite a few on Friday also. After that, McDowell, if you can stay in the room for a while, there isn't, but I can show you what you can do. Okay, I have 3 monitors also. Basically, you just position all the window. Well, in fact, if I quickly do it, the market's going to open less than 2 minutes. So put all the designate one of your monitors as the main monitor. So and put your toolbar in the upper left-hand corner of it. So the monitor that I share with you guys is what I call my main monitor. All right. I put all my windows. Let me get my gaps here. Well, there's Berg showed up on the gap up. So I put all my windows where I want them on my main monitor, plus I have other Trade Ideas windows on my other monitors. Put them all where I want them, all right? Once they're arranged where I want them, click on Tools, Options, Layouts, and then check Open relative to main window, Save. Okay, when you do that, then when you exit Trade Ideas and then re-enter Trade Ideas, all your windows will be where you want them to be. Okay? All right, everybody, we are going to open in 27, 24, 25 seconds. So let's have another great trading day, everybody. All right, we are now open. As usual, I usually sit out the first 15 minutes, try to let things settle down a little bit before I hop in. Wow, NVTA. Well, that went not the way I was. Well, I don't care really, but I mean, I was looking at a short for this one. All this room underneath, but that's a big bounce so far. Now, Triple D is still down there. In fact, it is starting to drop still. All right, look at all the gap downs. That is an order imbalance, yeah. So it's not a volatility halt, it's an order imbalance. Should open very soon. Well, guys, if this doesn't illustrate the importance of, number one, watching your trades very closely and also having a stop in play, nothing will. Remember, I was short that at 63. Look at it now, 68.85. All right. Man. Okay, Triple D is still continuing down. I mean, look at this on the weekly and daily. It's not a lifetime low, but I don't think there's very much support for it. Okay, so yeah, well, obviously Triple D is resumed now. All right, Pot Belly, you are at a lifetime low right now, PBPB. Boy, Triple D, my goodness. Again, another week open for the SPY so far. MTSI, nice little break here on earnings, has room. There's the 200-day way up there. No, this is what you're seeing here is my layout, but everything that you see here, if you click on this, you can see the room drive, it says room drive, it looks like a half open folder. If you click on that, scans that I share, you can download and you'll see virtually everything that you see on this monitor, plus my other monitors that I have scans. You can pick and choose which ones you want. Okay? So just click on that room drive, scans that I share, and download. And all the links are there. Man, DDD, right from the, oops, right from the get-go, no pause on this one. All right, so Potbelly I'm just going to keep an eye on this one right now. Maybe it's settled down, see if it TSI continues. MYGN, Myriad is an earnings play also. Big gap down for it. You don't really see too much action in the pre-market. You see just probably not very much volume. The volume is picked up. I don't say anything. I was short INGN. I covered for a little loss. I did not, I don't tell anybody to do anything. All right. Another earnings play, ADT, taking it on the chin right off the bat also. I see MYL continues its descent after yesterday's earnings. All right, guys, a little bit against what I normally do, but I am short the pot belly now. What did I get it at? 686, about 686 on the pot belly, okay? And certainly try to put no more than a whole number stop on it. 686 on the pot belly, PBBB. Yeah, this is not a recommendation. This is what I'm just telling you what I'm doing. You do what you want to do. Usually I wait for the first 15 minutes, but I thought, well, in fact, it's going to be tough now. Look at the spread. Spread may nail me. Nice to hear, McDowell. I wonder if we could use you as a testimonial. Okay, I just got to watch this. Another float situation. 23 million in the float, so I just got to watch it. God, man, Triple D, what a collapse. Big percentage collapse. Come on, Potbelly, do. Uh-oh. Okay, I've got to be very careful on this. I've just got to watch it, guys, for a bit here. I still like it for later, even if I get stopped out of it. Well, PSI, no pullback. Well, sort of one, I guess, on the fives, but brief. All right, we have a halt here. ATIS halted. Wow, 218 on the alert from the low floaters on the move. This is a great alert. Okay, looks like some of these Liberty stocks, TripAdvisor, what a TripAdvisor, Liberty TripAdvisor. Again, I'm just watching the pot belly here, guys. I don't want to see it, probably a little over 7 will get me out. So I knew there's a reason I don't like to take the trades in the first 15. Yeah, I'll miss out the big moves in some of them, but I like to see things settle down just a little bit. Now look at it. Another earnings play, big gapping down, small one. Another earnings play, gapping down, Performance Food. Not great performance. Look at this on the weekly here. Look at all the room it's got. Look at it on the daily. 35.10 is the 200-day moving average. All right, I'm out of the pot belly. Yeah, good exit. I'll take a look at it again. Well, that's a pretty good alert. I mean, 218, for this one, that's not bad. I mean, 218 is right there. mean, the stock closed at $1.95 or something. So, I mean, that's not terrible. Yeah, you could change but here's the deal. You change the minimum volume, you'll start to get a lot of other alerts that you may not want. So it's always a trade-off. So this should open now. There it is. ATIS just opened now. It's a 5-minute halt. ATIS. All right. So a little pop, but now the drop so far. Low float, crazy. I don't know if that's exactly correct. 56,000 in the float. Whatever that number really is, it's going to be super low. Crazy, crazy low. Be so careful. All right, LTHM. And lifetime low, let's see if it takes out that whole number. Keep an eye on Voyager here. This was an earnings play yesterday. Red bar ignored the daily chart. Look at ABIO, guys. ABIO is on the move again. Now, this is the big surger yesterday. This got up to 1543 yesterday. On the move again. And this is a reverse split. Not too exciting. All right, guys. I've taken the Voyager on that. Now it's a spready one. Got to be careful on it. I'm in a 2485 VYGR, sort of on the daily red bar ignored. And if the market can put in a bit of a recovery here, and that was actually from the Pitbull scan. It's pretty whippy though. But what Yeah, we're getting a lot of bounce plays. All right, is the sound cutting out? Unless everybody is, okay. Is it really? Once? All right. But not now, not now, not now, not now. Okay. All right. Come on, Voyager, get that bid at 25 at least. No, actually, the Sebastian, who is the creator of this trading room, said there was a server issue yesterday. If you recall, when we lost the screen share and the audio, yeah. So he's trying to do something about that. All right, Inagata Davita, look at DVA gapping down on earnings. All right, guys, I exited the VYGR basically flat. I'll watch it to see if I get that bid over 25. It's not moving the way I want it to, so basically I'm out of that one flat. It can be a whippy one, and it also is very spready. All right, definitely interested in the LTHM. See if it can base just a little bit underneath 8 and then continue its collapse. This is a lifetime low. LTHM and its earnings play. Put an alert for 25 for the VYGR. See if it takes it out later. Wow, look at AO, dog. Bit of a spread issue, but I was actually interested in this on a 14 break. It's going to be very whippy, low float. I don't see any news on it. Is this traders getting a hold of it right now? All right, A Bio, what are you going to do? I mean, we challenged yesterday's high. What's the spread? Spread is okay, a nickel. So last week it got as high as 20. TWOU continues down here. Big area for it. Look at this on the weekly. What's the low right there? The low is 44.50. Look at where it is, 44.76. Takes that out. I don't see any support. It's already down 25%, but takes that if that might be support, but all right, I'm going to set my alert for LTHM. It's just popped a little bit over 8. I'm going to set my alert down around 786 or so. See if it takes it out again and continues down. No, but look at this one. So many really interesting looking ones. GTES. Look at these things on the weekly and daily earnings play. Another earnings play, GTES. I mentioned this one probably around here, so about $1 ago for DVA. What I'm an idiot. I remember I mentioned I forgot to look at Farm. Farm had a couple of downgrades this morning. I didn't it didn't really show up on the pre-market because it had no volume. But look at this. Low float, 15 million in the float. I just forgot to check it. That's a big, big move down. Look at it on the weekly, the daily. Yeah, so Trip, another one. Boy, look at these beautiful weekly charts, daily chart. 44.86 or 45 or so. Maybe the support for Trip. So take your pick. You can either do that one or the TRPA. 1241. So this still has some room, just like Trip. So you want a slightly cheaper one. TRPA. LTRPA. But they're obviously joined at the hip, Trip and Liberty Trip Advisor. Another earnings play, Onyx, never heard of you. 20 million in the float. Low volume to start, 55,000. Has some room on the weekly. All right, so LTHM looks like it's in, a lot of these are kind of in bounce mode. But I still have my alert set down here later on if it takes out 8 again. Oh, it really depends. I mean, why it's gapping down, if it's earnings. I mean, I honestly haven't tracked it that closely. You know, it's from a pattern. You know, I mean, if it's a big gap down, taking everything out, and it's a lifetime low, you know, it's pretty discouraging if you were long up on those higher areas, and now you get an earnings release, and it's not good. For me to, you know, to think, well, I'm going to play a bounce. Just on general principles. Now, it could bounce at some point. And obviously some have. The pot bellies bounce a little bit, LTHM a little bit. I wonder what they, I mean, hard for me to believe that's the true float, 56,000 in the float, but anything is possible. Supposedly up, no, I thought it was Friday. Thought it was Friday for the Uber IPO. It's an interesting one, the carbon black. What's this right here? 1777. So it's a little bit close to this right here. This, well, it has earnings 21 days from now, but what time do I start in the morning? Today I was up at 3:45 actually, but you know, between 4:30 typically. Yeah, that's Pacific. Yeah, Pacific time, obviously, yes. We start getting our data at 7 Eastern time, so that's 4 o'clock Pacific time. All right, keep an eye on MNK. Had earnings yesterday, got slapped a little bit. Now trying to recover. Has room, guys. This has room. Look at it on the daily chart. 1856, big block right there. It's only 1708. See if it bases a little bit over 17. There's a lot of room here if it wants to move. No, I'm in Vancouver. Yeah, nice call, real. This is a no pause whatsoever. Just a mild one right there. Wow, look at MGI earnings play. Okay, why we're seeing all these wild moves, so many companies releasing earnings. So May-K this week, guys. Next week, it's going to dry up as far as earnings are concerned. Another weak one here, MYG. Mentioned that one probably around here about $1 ago. MYG now maybe into, well, still about $1 and a bit away, 40 away from these lows right here. Okay, Potbelly. Okay, Potbelly's getting my interest again. All right, I'm going to keep watching this MNK. The longer it holds over 17, it'll base. It did pop up to 1729. There's a lot of room. If they see it base a little bit, and then look at the volume. Volume is strong. Look at this one, PRMW, another earnings play. Look at this on daily. What do we have here? So it's below that area, and it's below, what do we have here? 1270, what's that, 1275 or so? The low is 1280, so it's almost at the low here. I don't know if this is a, no, it isn't. I thought it might have been an IPO or something, but by the way, yeah, that turned into just a great short for me. But at the end of the day, you guys remember I was up in this area and it just kept going down, down, down. At the end of the day, I didn't hold it overnight, but that was the Crocs from yesterday. As I say, you could have had your pick now, TRPA, sorry, LTRPA or TRIP. You wanted a cheaper one. Cheaper one, same, obviously tied somehow, TRIP and LTRPA. I'm assuming anyway. Yes, Chrome. So Ian, are you having a problem seeing the screen? If you're using Chrome, if you can't see my screen for some reason, okay. So you could probably use Firefox. I think the developer room suggests Chrome, but the problem is you have to disable the hardware accelerator. If you go to, I'm not sure where it is in Firefox. I know in Chrome. And it's not everybody. It depends on your computer configuration. But you have to disable the hardware accelerator in your browser. Now, if you're using an iPad, actually, he suggests you use Safari. Okay, the latest version of Safari. That's what he suggests. No, I'm here to answer questions. Don't worry. All right, guys, Beyond Meat, maybe. Let's see. Turning to swoon a little bit here. Okay, I'm continuing to watch MNK to see if it holds 17. If it doesn't hold 17, all bets are off, of course. No, probably just profit taking. I mean, it can't keep going up. I mean, it could, but at some point, be profit taking coming in. Oh, nicely done, Mark. Yeah, you said we're in at 245. Well done. 3-bar pullback on the 15, on the 5. Anyway, nicely done. Also, you're right. I think options became available today with BYND, though shorts are available for me anyway at Interactive Brokers. At least they were. They've dried up now. Oh, they just come back. 76,000 shares. Again, I'm not sure how believable this float number is, 56,000. Yeah, I'm definitely have an eye on that MNK. I love the gap, the potential gap fill, the MNK. Holding 17. There's PRMW now underneath. All right, so watch what I do. You can hear and listen to me, or you can hear me and see me. Just want to make sure you can hear me, you can see me before I show you how to do it. Starkey, can you hear me? Okay. All right, so put your toolbar, top left-hand corner of what we'll call your main monitor. Designate one of your monitors as your main monitor. Rearrange all your windows as you want. Rearrange all the windows on your other monitors as you want. When you've done that, click on Tools, Options, Layouts. Tools, Options, Layouts, and check Open Relative to Main Window and save it. And that'll do it. Every time you open Trade Ideas, windows will be in exactly the same spot on all your monitors, all right? I mentioned this Astronics earlier, continues, yeah, it's a tough spread, 50-cent spread. All right, well, MNK is doing what I was hoping it might do, is just kind of bait for 17 for a bit, pause, and then now I'm just looking for a pop into the 1720s. I'll probably take it if it gets into the 1720s. Did it come back? I noticed that it dropped a lot. Yeah, okay, so it dropped there. All right. Well, what an awful looking chart, though. Look at all these topping tails, bottoming tails, especially the topping tails. So again, you know what that means? It means that, at one point the stock was way up there and then the sellers just whacked it down every single day just about. So, I wouldn't be marrying this. Today could be completely different, but also don't see any specific reason. I don't see any, well, wait a minute. Let me just see if I, I don't see any specific reason today why this one is doing what it's doing. Earnings play, beautiful break on the weekly, nice break on the daily, 2157, well above the 200-day moving average. Has some room to this 2563, so about a dollar, a little over a dollar to that resistance area. Somebody was mentioning AMS. Yeah, another earnings play. Wow, strong. So yeah, it has room on the daily. Obviously, it has room on the weekly. Looks way better on the weekly. Look at that, 29. All right. Did I get it? Ooh, didn't get as much as I wanted, but I had an order in at 1718. Blew right through it. So I'm in the MNK 1718. And it blew right through it. Why did I see that in the first place? And MYG continues weak. Look at that on the fives, basically straight down. Of course, straight down on the 15s. I'm just seeing if MNK can get into the 30s. Wow. As I say, your pick, LRTPA or the trip. Look at this one now, underneath 13. Still has room, 1246, probably to support or could be support. No, I don't swing trade very often, but I mean, you can take a look at this, Paul. I mean, if I do have something that I call my 4 rules for swing trading. You can download. This is just, if I am going to swing trade, all 4 have to be checked. So you can take a look at that, but I have no books on it. I don't recommend any books because I don't really swing trade very often. All right, but you can take a look at that if you'd like. Right, so just find that room drive icon, half open folder, probably beside my name. Okay. I have a very very simple how I do it if I do it. Remember these days, guys, yesterday, today, and tomorrow, and probably Friday. This week, it will, unfortunately, it will not be quite this exciting. Look at all the moves, everything based on earnings, 0.25. If you're new to the room, new to trade ideas, 0.25 means they release earnings before the market opened. And if it's minus 2.5, let's find one that's a minus 0.25. There it is. Released earnings after hours yesterday. All right, I'm just watching MNK right here. All right, guys, I take some out at around 1735 for the MNK just to ensure some profit. We'll hold some in case it really starts to pop again. Now, I don't put targets on. I just look at the chart. So all I see here is that Tennessee would be getting up to 1837. That's where I think it would stall. It got that high. You can see on the daily chart and the weekly chart, around that 1837. So, but I'm not. That's not my target. I don't have a target. Yeah, Paul, the only reason I like it near the high of the day is that if the first three were met, so in other words, there was a gap or a void, the 200-day is far enough away, it's not earnings. Problem I have with something, if it's not near the high of the day, it doesn't have to be right at the high, but relatively close, is if you take it, then for me anyway, the way I look at it is that you have to, it may struggle. Like imagine you're in it today, and you didn't take it took something today, and it wasn't near the high of the day. It's tomorrow. So the way I look at it is that now it could struggle to get through today's high. So I don't want to see any resistance. I don't want to see any daily resistance at all. That's the only reason. Doesn't mean that you could wait. You wake up tomorrow and it gaps up right today's high, of course. But I just try to put a lot of things in the odds in my favor. That's all. If I'm going to, as I say, I don't often swing trade. So, but I've just found that closing near the high of the day, I also think it gives people who hadn't even seen the stock and maybe doing some after hours scanning, and they see stocks that have closed near the high and think, wow, okay, maybe this will have another run tomorrow. Vonage is having a good earnings. Look at this big break on the daily, the weekly. It's been moving smartly ahead of earnings the last several weeks. I have no idea. When I get asked questions like that, I honestly have no idea. I mean, anything's possible. I mean, but I have no idea. It had yesterday, so it's obviously trying to bounce back, but I have no idea. Yeah, guys, just in case there's a swing trade tab. So if you have ideas that you want to share with the room about what you are looking for in potential swing trades. I don't mean in general, but just specific stocks, or even in general. That's okay. I created this for you guys. I know there are a lot of people who are interested in swing trading. Those who've been in the room for a while, you know that I've often said when I finally retire, I'd love to publish all the emails. I'll put them anonymously, but some of the emails I get from people. Yeah, it's just a browser, Kang. So yeah, you can, of course, you can get in with your phone. It's just browser based, so any browser. If you have an Android phone, I'd use Chrome. If you have an iPhone, I'd use Safari. Yeah, I don't know how dynamic it's going to be now, though. My way, I mean, listen, it could still be dynamic later on, but my way of thinking is that based on what it did, it should have just kept going down if it was going to be that dynamic. I mean, I get it. It's already down 23%, but I thought once it took out 8, you know, I thought it could easily tack on some more. But it looks like, you know, the major move obviously is already made. So for now, anyway. Okay, just watching the Mallinckrodt, however you pronounce it. MNK is watching to see if I can get into the 40s again. Wow, 10:33 already. What a last morning. So first of all, if you're brand new to the room, welcome to the room. This is the format of the room every day. I open the room at 9 o'clock Eastern time. That's when I start to share my screen and get live on the mic at about 9:05. I go up to 3:30, Mondays to Thursdays, and up to 3 o'clock on Fridays. And the room, yes, it's free. Obviously, if you're in the room and you're not a Trade Ideas subscriber, you know it's free. So we open the room up to everybody. We're still right in the middle of what we call our test drive. We do this 4 times a year. So for $8.99, you can have access to our program for 5 trading days. You still have time to get involved. If you want to get involved in the test drive, where did I put it? I thought I put it up here. Maybe I didn't. All right. Just give me a second. I'll get the link, because you can still sign up for the test drive. What I would do is I would wait until the market closes today. Okay, test drive. So wait for the market to close today if you want a full 5 days. And then your test drive will start tomorrow. You'll get Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. And then that's it. The test drive will be over. So a lot, of course, are still halfway through Monday to Friday this week. And it costs you $8.99. And again, the often asked question, well, what happens when it's over? When it's over, it's over. We don't automatically put you into any sort of a subscription. There will be a promo code that we will give to you, of course. If you want to take out a subscription, great, but there's no pressure. The other thing is that if you are involved in the test drive and you know you've looked at some of the windows that I've got here, just by clicking on that, and also, of course, if you're a Trade Idea subscriber and you're new to the room, you can click on this room drive. Looks like a half-open folder. And you'll see scans that I share. You can download, you'll see links for all these scans plus the ones you can't see on my other monitors. If you're involved in the test drive, everything you do this week, if you save it to the cloud, so we save these windows or create a layout and save it to the cloud, if you decide later on that you do want to take out a subscription to Trade Ideas, as long as you use the same email, you know, for the subscription as you use for the test drive, everything you do this week is saved for you, so you don't have to recreate anything. Yeah, well, trading an IPO, Satoshi, I mean, it's up to you. I mean, I typically don't trade the first day. It's more watching it for the couple of weeks afterwards, you know, the next day to see if there's still enthusiasm. I will trade it every now and then the first day. Usually I like to wait a couple of hours and see if the high of the day is taken out after a couple of hours. But I mean, listen, it's risky. So I'm not going to tell anybody to trade an IPO on the first day. All right, yeah, that got me out of the MNK. Too bad. I was hoping for a break into the 40s. So a little bit of profit on the last bid. I took most of it out at 735. Remember now, it's got all sorts of, it's got a big cloud over it. Anyway, let me continue on with the links. So there's the scans that I share. There's the download. Take a look at the links. Now, if you want to take out a subscription right now, click on the subscription link, and there is a promo code right now. Barry for Alpha, all in capital letters. 15% off the first month, only the first month, or the entire year of a Trade Ideas subscription. And this is what Trade Ideas costs. So we have basically 4 plans: a standard yearly, which would be $1068 a year minus 15%, a premium yearly, $2268 a year minus the 15%. The big difference is Holly. Just looking at Holly, I don't see anything too exciting today. Maybe the CVM, actually the CVM is not bad. 755, 770 now, 755 on the entry, 770 now. However, if you're unsure of the product, you're not sure, I would never, ever hop into a yearly plan. You can always try us out. Standard monthly, $118 a month minus the 15%. Or the premium, $228 minus the 15%. Again, that discount's only good for the first month. Now, if you do take out a subscription today, if you decide by June the 7th, in other words, within 30 days, that you want to upgrade, say from standard to premium or from monthly to a yearly plan, you can do so, and we will honor the promo code. Brokerage Plus. One second. So Brokerage Plus, so $1,100 minus the 15%, it's a lifetime license. Now I'll explain what Brokerage Plus is, of course, but what I mean by a lifetime license is that if you unsubscribe from Trade Ideas and then you resubscribe at any point, Brokerage Plus is still waiting there for you. It's a one-time license fee, all right? Okay, so basically it means in your price alerts window, 500 of them. Well, that's you should not have 500, but we put a max of 500 in the price alerts window. So, you're setting price alerts on the chart. Okay? And that's what, we're not talking about these price alerts. We're talking about setting price alerts on the chart like that. Create a price alert. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. So you can have up to 500 of them. No, it's nothing to do with the lower price. That's standard. It's got nothing to do with standard or premium. This is what Brokerage Plus looks like. Okay, so first of all, to use Brokerage Plus right now, obviously you have to buy it. You also need an Interactive Brokers account. That has to be your broker right now. We are looking to add other brokerage platforms. I don't know which ones or when, so please don't ask me. And you, of course, you need our premium package. So what it is basically, if you have Interactive Brokers, of course you can enter trades using Interactive Brokers. This is just a more aesthetically pleasing way of doing it. You know, we've created some hotkeys here for you, big buy and sell buttons, great way to manage, you know, a nice window. So it's just a more pleasing way to do it. So on the very simplest level, if you click on an alert, it's going to load, of course. You can pick how many shares you want to trade, and you'll see the bid and the ask. And you click that, either that big buy or the big sell button if you're going to short. These are, say, hotkeys. Flatten is getting you out of a position or multiple positions. So all these getting out of half a position, doubling your position. Reverse, kind of cool. You're long, now you want to go short, or you're short, you want to go long. Just be completely aware of what the spread is before you do something like that. The next level would be, okay, I click on an alert, I want to trade it. Ahead of time, it's very simple to set up these buying and shorting parameters. You can just click how you want to trade it, and of course it'll appear in your window. For very few of our customers, they have strategies that they like to backtest themselves using our backtest tool. And if they're very, very, very comfortable that when a symbol shows up, that you want to auto trade it, you can do so. Basically bypassing, you know, this step of having to pick how you want to trade it. It will auto trade it, and it'll be set up for the rules you want. Very few of our customers do that. All right. And yes, you can auto trade Holly. I don't recommend it, but if you are bound and determined, here you can click on this link here, Managing Your Expectations of Auto Trading Holly, and that is a webinar that Brad and Dan, co-founders of Trade Ideas, did early February. So please watch that. This will tell you what Holly is all about. This will show you what the description of all the strategies that she has, what they're looking for. So what is a downward momentum looking for? Topping formation, pushing through. So, I mean, some of them are obvious. And these are the ones that made the cut. Typically making the cut, meaning had to have a profit factor of at least 2 and a win percentage of at least 60. I know this is slightly under. So not all of the 50 strategy that undergo the optimization procedure, of course, they don't all make the cut. PSN is open, yes. Let's see what it, oh, wow. Okay, so it is a premium to it. Little one, 27. Let's see how it really trades. The IPO was priced at 27, so not a huge premium right now. So let's see how it trades. Training from Monday to Thursday at noon Eastern. You can sign up for all the training courses right there. Webinars, Monday to Thursday at 5 o'clock Eastern. They're all archived. Tonight's is the one that I attend, just help out text-wise. I'm not on the mic, but Brad and Dan. It's a Q&A with Brad and Dan, again, co-founders of Trade Ideas. So I help out on that one. Download TI Pro. I should get rid of the beta, but if you don't know what you have, and get rid of this. If you don't know what version you've got, just click on Help and About. I'm on a development version. The version available to you is 4.2.74. Okay, 4.2.74 is the version available to you. Why should you have that? Why upgrade? Well, a couple of reasons. Time frame. If you want weekly and monthly charts, you'll need that version. Let me see if there's one that's triggered today yet. Okay, nothing yet. However, let's take a look at this one. So here is a situation where WPM, the alert was at 2082. The stop was 2057. Holly got stopped out of the trade. All right. Now, if you notice here, 2069 is a re-entry. You know, I always say this is nothing scientific, but halfway between 2082 and the stop, 2057, is 2069. If at some point during the day it comes back to 2069, you'll get an alert. You'll see the re-entry time, So all these alerts are set up ahead of time because it's just pure math, but nothing is triggered yet. So this won't trigger unless it gets back to 2069. Right now it's 2039. It may or may not do it. So you also need our latest version or the 4.2.74 if you want that. You have Holly and you want that feature. No, brokers. You need the app. You can't do it via the web, Grain Dart. All right, let me keep going here. If you want to take out a demo of Trade Ideas, there's a demo link. I do a daily video between 1:15 and 1:45 every day. Brokerage Plus, I've already gone over Brokerage Plus. Trade of the Week is sent to you before the market opens every Monday morning. I still have this having all three Hollies open at once, but this will go the way of the dodo bird. We will not have three Hollies anymore. I cannot tell you when that's going to happen, but definitely that's in the works. We'll just have one giant Holly. Okay? All right, keep going. I think that's it. And again, there's the managing expectations of Holly. All right. Yeah, if anybody has Thinkorswim, I know that it can be a bit of a bear to, I don't know why, but it can be a bit of a bear to link. But if anybody has Thinkorswim and is linking with Trade Ideas using our tool, if you have some time, and maybe you can go into the tech support and maybe help AFS. If not AFS, you can always go to our homepage, start a live chat. I think Bill is there. He's our linking expert. I know it's got something to do with keep administration open or something to that effect, but I don't know specifically how you do it. But if you want to go to the homepage, there you go. TOS is not difficult, so Chris might give you some ideas how to do it. What was the contact again for what? Okay, just go to the tech support area. Just click on the tech support tab and I put the link in for the homepage. And you'll see when you click on the link, you'll see a pop-up that says live chat discussion or something like that. Yeah, run as administrator. But Chris is helping right there if you want to go to the tech support. Well, first of all, Matthew, if you're asking me, I don't give any advice like that. I'm never going to say yes, no, indifferent, all right? You might get some opinions from people, but it's an IPO, so I mean, you have to let it maybe settle down and see. But obviously right now, I mean, it's $27 was the IPO price, so it's above the IPO price, which is a good thing. But whether it's a buy right now, I'm certainly not going to recommend it one way or the other. So what does linking do? All right, good question. So what does linking do? There's can you see my screen? Mixter dude, can you see my screen? Okay, so when I click on tools and external linking, so basically what linking does is when I click on a symbol, OIS, instead of my having to type OIS into my order entry basically whatever brokerage platform I'm using. Obviously, I'm using Interactive Brokers. It'll load it automatically using the linking tool. You just sort of set up the link, and there's a rule to follow. If I edit the link, you'll see it says while keeping the window open. So you mouse over the target window, hold down the shift key to select the window. So my target window for Interactive Brokers is the order entry box. So when I do that, then I say, okay, now there's a little bit of a rule for this one, but most of the time there are no rules, and you just have to, and it just links. So basically it's a big time saver. So every time you click on an alert, it's not going to auto trade it. It's nothing to do with auto trading. It just saves you from having to type the symbol in. Okay. I mean, the nice thing about PTN, I mean, the only reason, to be honest, that I'm interested in it is this. It's got Goldman Sachs, Merrill, not so much Merrill, but same Goldman Sachs especially, and Morgan Stanley behind it. Okay, so there was the price, 27. So it's above it, so that's good. It's not a bio though. I think it's some kind of a defense intelligent. Okay, so defense stock. But that's the reason. That's the main reason. Now, had it opened lower than this 27, I wouldn't be interested in it. Now, if you want to track IPOs, this is the link. Nothing to do with trade ideas, but this is the link that I use to track IPOs. Oops. And you can see here are all the recent, it'll show you the last 100, and then the IPO calendar shows you what's up this week. So there's a big one. This one tomorrow could be really interesting. A couple of reasons. Look at the float, 3.6 million, so not very many. Nice price. It's a bio, and again, Goldman and JP Morgan are involved. And that's tomorrow, Thursday. I mean, this could be interesting. I find the bios are probably the most interesting. Okay, so that's how you can monitor your IPOs if you're interested in them. And then what I do is I monitor them by creating a symbol list. I created a symbol list that I called IPO. Not too creative, but I call it IPO. I created a symbol list called IPO. And then if you don't know how to do it, I can show you how. Not just an IPO symbol list, but any symbol list. And then I create an alert window and a top list for me anyway. Top list window and an IPO and an alert window. So I'll know when new highs or new lows, it in either regular market hours or the pre-market, and where the volume is at least 100,000 shares. So I get an alert, real-time alert. This has no, I don't think this has any, this has no filters. See what they're doing, and I sort on where they are in the lifetime. So PD right at the top. Right at the top. What a fabulous IPO. I mean, look at this. 36.50. So this IPO'd 4 weeks ago. Obviously we've talked about Beyond Meat last week. Zoom, another incredible IPO. 61 all the way up to 80. That I had my eye on didn't really do very much. But anyway, attach. You can attach the symbol list to any alert or top list window, and multiple, of course. And I just attach it. So that's all it's monitoring are my IPOs. Well, you would think maybe this is a level that it's going to find some support, and maybe that 45, so $1.50 to go. They look at the weekly chart, maybe. And of course, then the other one. This is now coming. I mean, look, this is closer to the support area than TRIP is. So let's, I mean, watch it. It takes that out with any vengeance. I mean, look out. I mean, it could, there's the next level, $9. And the other one that is just disaster. There's a nice, actually nice green bar ignored for MYGN. How far is it away? 2740. It's too bad. Too bad. Well, it's not that far away. There's a green bar ignored. You'll hear us talk about this. The downtrend, red bars, bunch of down, 4 in a row. The green bar right there, totally engulfed by the previous red bar. If the next bar is red and it moves below the low of that green bar and continues down, that's what we call a green bar ignored. In other words, there's the trend, a momentary pause in the trend continues. Let's see if I can find that one that whoops. Just give me a second here. Give me a second here. I'm just trying to find something. Snippets. Give me a second here. All right, this is one we saw yesterday. This is a great example of an RBI, red bar ignored. This was for a BIO. There's the uptrend. There's the red bar, totally engulfed by the previous green candle. The next candle starts out green. It took out the, and once it passes that high there, then you start watching. Now, obviously it kept going. So that was a huge one. I mean, I think this is, I don't have, it's probably around 12, I don't know, 12:30 or so. Maybe 12:08. I don't really know, but I mean, look where it got to after. All right, so now for PSN, I'm going to stick an alert at, not at the topping tail here, but the high of the bodies here, and see if it takes that out sometime. Well, no, it's the green or the red bar has to be engulfed by the previous candle. I mean, that's it. No. The subsequent candle then has to move which will be green, obviously, if it moves higher than the high of the red candle. That's the trigger. In fact, right there, high 1662. So I mean, this sneaks in. Okay, there's your uptrend. There's the, it's not completely, because the high here is the same as the high there. Let's pretend it was. I mean, it's close enough. And then that next candle moves above 1662. Then you could say to yourself, okay, I guess that's just a momentary pause and the trend continues. Well, it has to at one time be above. Now this could turn into, I mean, this could have turned into a red. It could have moved above and then down. That's why, you know, I mean, you could, some schools of thought say wait for the candle to close, but if that candle had, you know, closed way up here, you know, then it's probably too late. If I'll bring out our, we do have, let me bring out an RBI 15. What's the market doing? So the market's, okay, so let's see if we can get one that illustrates it. Just waiting for one to show up. Another one is just straight up on the 15s, almost the same on the, just two red bars, man. STKL, cheap one, but percentage move from 361 to 406. Yeah, whatever. I'm sorry. It's just, well, if you think your broker's platform can do just what we do, then by all means do it. I mean, obviously, we can do all more than any brokerage platform can do. At least, I don't know every single brokerage platform out there, but I mean, there's a ton of alerts and filters that you can put in place. Reversal patterns. I mean, look, there's no such thing as a 100% sure, but for instance, bouncers, toppers, as an example. All right, you can look at this. So I'm looking at this. Is this top? I don't know for sure. Being alerted to the fact that this is going straight up, and so maybe start watching our topping pattern versus Crocs, which probably the alert was right there. So maybe signifying maybe that's the start of a bounce. There's no guarantee, but you can certainly have this one and take a look to see what sort of alert. But certainly, if you think your broker's platform can do all this, then by all means, don't take our trade. Don't take it. I'm not going to. I'll let our subscribers tell you. Obviously, I work for Trade Ideas, and I'm biased, but. No, Lumpy, they are scans that I created, but they're all shareable. You can just ask me for them. So if you do get the software, just have to come into the room, and right here, on the room drive icon, that scans that I share. And you click on that download link, and you'll see every scan that I'm sharing, including the ones you see and other ones that you don't see. Okay? And sometimes you might say, well, just like that individual said, how can I find reversal patterns? Okay, so if I have something that might, show something that might be reversing because it's either overbought or oversold, quote unquote, well, bouncers, toppers. So I just brought it up. Yeah, so there are some, the channel bar. What are the channel bar? New channel bar. Here are all what we have, I got the box, preloaded. All right, various themes, short squeeze, social media, surge, swing ideas. These are all things that, low float, sector, trade the gap, on and on and on. So these are all, click on one, you'll see windows loading, not unlike these. And in fact, what I can do is, I just want to make sure I've got things pinned. I think I do. Just give me a second here. Well, the channel bar is good for people trying out. Ultimately, you'll probably create your own layout, all right? But for instance, if you went to the, let's just take the surge channel. All right, now, remember, these are layouts. So the reason why you still see, I think don't tell me. Oh, the low floaters is not, that's okay. So these are layouts. So if you have a layout on your screen, your layout will disappear, all right? So that's why you always have to save your layout to the cloud. So when I say disappear, it's not gone forever, as long as you save it to the cloud. So for instance, so you click on a channel, and most upward momentum right now, you're like, I wonder what that's all about. It looks interesting. You right click, you see what the filters we've used are. And you can say, well, you know what, price between 1 and 1,000. That's a little crazy. So how about 1, or how about 10 and 60? That's the price range I like. The volume 330,000. You know what? I want 450,000. See how it's changing here? Change there, change there. So you've taken what we gave you as sort of a generic, and now you've customized it to how you like to trade. And if you like it, then you just right-click and you save it to the cloud. Right-click, save. Okay, so now it's in the cloud. You know, so you could load it from the cloud. But what I'm really trying to demonstrate now is that, okay, you pick that window from that. Now I'll go to another channel. Squeeze. That might be interesting. Short squeeze activity. So why is this being alerted? So you can see, I think that the minimum short float has to be at least 15%. All right. So if you, again, you can right click, configure, summary, see what we're using. You know, again, I don't know why they did this, but you know, let's change the price between 50 cents and $2,000. Go again, 10 and 70. See how easy it is to change. And of course, you can add filters. You know, you could, maybe you want to add something that, and you know, if you're not sure if you have something, you just click on the search and say you want something to do with Bollinger Bands. You just start typing it in, and you can see what we have for Bollinger Bands. What do we have for RSI? What do we have for stochastics? Okay, I mean, so just type in the search, and so you can, of course, add whatever filters or alerts you want. And again, you just save it to the cloud. If you've adjusted it, save it to the cloud. So you can see the idea then is you go through all of these channels and you can start extracting window after window, the ones that might make sense to you or are of interest to you. Then you might have a blank slate. Now you can start bringing back those windows that you like one at a time. I'll load from cloud. You start bringing them back. Find it, bring it. You'll probably see them very quickly because you know, especially if you're a new subscriber, you just start bringing them back. You know, file, load, and bring them back one at a time. Once you have the ones you want, then file, save, click on entire layout, give it a name, save, and now you've got a layout saved. Now I went through that pretty quickly, but understand that, you know, I'm here all the time, can always help. We have our webinars and our support people always willing to help too. So I forgot to in that one. That's okay. The low floaters. Now I don't change my layout. The only thing I do in the pre-market, I should say the only thing, I mean, it's important. I don't trade after hours, so I don't care about that. But you know, this is what I use in the pre-market. This is my go-to window in the pre-market. Remember, we start getting our data around 7 o'clock. Not around. We get our data at 7 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. So this is what I do. This is the exercise I go through every morning. First I sort on, of course, is the change from the close. I want to see the ones that are up the most. That's the obvious thing to see. And every time I click on an alert, I'm also checking my news headline to see if there's a specific reason why it's up. You know, I can tell if it's an earnings play. If it's an earnings play, that, you know, that'll be the reason it's up or down. So start looking at these and, you know, checking the daily chart, weekly chart. Say, okay, great, it's up, but is there any resistance. If I want to long this, is there any resistance on the daily chart or the weekly chart close by? Where's the 200 moving average? So it's kind of the thought process for me when I'm doing my pre-market work. Then I start drilling down because, yeah, I see the ones that are up the most, but there could be one down here that I don't, I'm not really paying attention to. So maybe if I click volume to date percent, very cool metric that we have, only using the pre-market. What this means is, let's just say I saw 340, so that's 340%. If I saw that in the pre-market, what that means is that the stock is traded 3.4 times what it would normally, in the pre-market, what it would normally trade all day long. That's pretty significant. So it may be, maybe buried down here somewhere, and I'm not focusing on it because I'm just looking at the up. But I could look at that and go, wow, okay, that's extraordinary volume for it. Check the daily and see what sort of action there is. Check to see if there's any news. Okay. The next thing I'll do is I'll check on the float. See if there's any full floaters down here that I may not have seen. Short float percent. What is the percentage of the float that is short? So just a matter. And then of course right now I'm clicking on the earnings column. I'm seeing all the earnings. I mean, believe me, next week it won't look like this. But I'm seeing all earnings plays, clicking on them one after another in the pre-market, trying to see what looks like it might be setting up. So I mean, there's the exercise. Well, the news is just my interactive brokers. Okay, I that's my platform, my broker platform. So the reason I use this, I'll show you why. If you don't have interactive brokers, it's okay. But if you want to find news, you can right click. If you don't want to use your brokers, most brokers have some kind of a news feed. But anyway, right click, send to the web. All right. We have Yahoo and FinViz and several others, or custom. So you can put in your, if you want to go to a website of your choosing or your choice, just put the URL there. You can click on the use symbol linking and watch what happens. So there's home now. There's NTNX. There's boot. Okay. Now why I don't use this is because I have to scroll down, to see the headline. So with IB, I don't have to do any scrolling. It's just right at the top. So, when I'm trying to do all this stuff very, very quickly in the morning, I don't want to have to scroll down constantly. All right, so hopefully I didn't miss any questions. Miss any questions directed specifically to me? Okay, Rick, so right click either in a chart, you have a chart open, or on a symbol, any symbol, doesn't really matter. And send to web. And I say we've got several in here, or custom. Go to a website that you want to. But you obviously can pick FinViz if you want. All right, and you can actually incorporate this as part of your layout, but I mean, not a big deal to open up every day, as long as you click the use symbol linking. Okay. You don't have that option on your right click. Right click. Are you on the are you web? Are you in the browser or the app? I guess you're on the browser, right? Oh, you are. Okay. Right click. You don't have send to. Okay. Okay, that's a, I was going to say it's almost impossible, but that's why I would say almost, because you never know, but okay, you got it. Good. That's how you do it. Well, with Berg, you have to start watching it to see. I mean, it's basing a little bit here. I mean, that could be a green bar ignored. I mean, this depends what that candle does. Obviously, I mean, it had the big pop, but these are highly volatile. Only 3 million float. So what I'd be doing if I were watching this, because obviously you were watching it early, if you thought to yourself, well, if it could take out two again, or maybe this area right there, maybe it'll have another run. So just stick a price alert. Just stick a price alert right there. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Yes, you can load scans in the web version. Yes. And if you're looking to short it, I'd stick an alert underneath. So bracket the price alerts and see what happens. But there's no guarantee anything's going to happen right now. It could be here for the rest of the day. I mean, it'd be the same, with anything. I mean, you don't have to create thumbnails necessarily. I mean, for the stocks that I'm very interested in, of course, I create thumbnails on the right-hand side so I can kind of visually see what's happening. But if you don't want to do that, just you can create bracketed price alerts. Very simple to do. I mean, our price alerts, we didn't invent price alerts, but this is one of the simplest way of creating price alerts that I've seen. Let's go to the chart, right click, no mumbo jumbo, and then it just shows up in the price alerts window. You can see right down here, both on the short and the long side. If it triggers, it'll pop right to the top and it'll flash at me, and I can put a alert on it, so I won't miss it. All right, guys, PSN trying a little bit of a comeback. Let's see if it gets back over that 30 level again. All right, so I think you're talking about the idea of surfing, I believe. So if I click on so this is just a toggle, current idea surfing, currently idea surfing. Is this what you're talking about? How the charts are just changing on their own? Yeah, okay, so this is a toggle, okay? It's either on or off, so you can, so if you have it on, and then if you hover over a chart, it'll stop. So for instance, you see a chart and you don't want it to change yet, you want to take a closer look at it. So notice when I'm hovering over the chart, surfing is paused. The minute I get off, it starts again. See how it started again? Of course, if I click on a symbol, it'll stop. And again, it only goes to the top list. So it'll look at the top 3 as you have them sorted of any top list that you have. Even if I had this minimized so I can see it, it will go through the top 3 as I have them sorted. It'll just cycle through. So it'll go to this one, this one, this one, this one. I have a couple other top lists on my other windows, other monitors, sorry. It doesn't have to be, well, open. Again, this could be minimized. So to trade ideas, even if you minimize it, it considers that it's open. Okay. So I just want to make sure maybe this is just semantics, but open means that you haven't X'd it out. It's not closed. All right. So even if you don't see it, you've minimized it. It's still considered to be okay. So watch. I start this, and it'll tell me from earnings plays. So right there, see how it's changed? Now my guess is that it'll go to their earnings plays down. So it's at MYGN. Now it's at fold. And now it's at 9. See, went through the top 3. Now it'll go to another Holy Grail. It'll also look at the it'll look at the top 3 as you have them sorted in your Holly windows too. Holly Grail, Holly 2.0, and Holly Neo. So go from top list to top list. And also, it'll also look at your price alerts. Top 3 that you have in your price alerts window. So now stop it. No, it is not considered. I mean, afterwards, look, it did. There is the red bar. So again, I prefer more of an uptrend. I mean, that's just one bar, but nonetheless, that red bar ignored right here because it is, that red bar is engulfed by the previous. But look at that candle. It didn't go, I mean, this one did, but this one did not. For it to be a true red bar ignored pattern, that candle would have had to be this one, moving up above the high of that red candle, 69 cents. Okay, to be a true, this is pattern recognition. So in the true sense of the word, no. Okay, now again, when you say close, not X closed. If it's closed, it's closed, but you can minimize it. So a lot of times people don't have screens. Screen space is a premium. For me it isn't, but screen space is a premium. So watch what happens. I'm going to minimize this. Let me make an alert on something that's moving. Oh, MYGN is moving. So let me make an alert right here. Okay, you see what happened? It triggered, it popped up, triggered, it came right to the top there because that's how I have it sorted on the triggered column. Last one, popped up, I heard it, I set an audible alert on it, played down, just like you can do on the alert windows. So I set up an alert sound, so I heard it and it popped up. All right, so yeah, you can minimize it if screen space is an issue. So I just made it, there it is again, MYGN. Big area for it. I mean, it takes that out. Look out. I mean, it's already a big lookout. Minimize will pop up, yes. All right. So I'm obviously in more answering questions mode today, which is absolutely fine. Less trading, more answering questions. Again, that's absolutely fine. Just give me 1 second here. All right. Yeah, well, I don't know. You must have a filter blocking it. Did you go through this yesterday? There it is. You must have a filter blocking it. You have a minimum volume, maybe? It shouldn't. I can't imagine that it would be, but oh, I see the first one. Yeah, sometimes when they're rapid fire, I notice that it doesn't maybe catch it, but it is. Yeah, I see. Yeah, it's a double resume. A little bit strange. Wow, 11:33 already. What a fast 2 hours. Yeah, Coda 17. If you have the Pitbull scan, yeah. See, there was the alert 1790, 1682 now. Yeah, market taking a downturn here. See if it, this is the level. I'm going to put an alert down here, see if it takes that out. Another one that got away, this PRMW right around here. Okay, Shank, if there's a program that does that, let me know. I mean, look, as far as I know, there'd be no way that any program can say, okay, if it gets this amount of volume, it's going to move it up this amount. We see volume, we see some volume coming into some stocks and it doesn't move at all. We see sometimes the volume comes in and it pops. So I mean, let's face it, most of the time when you get volume coming in, it's going to move the stock, but it's not 100%. So we do have our volume. So you can start setting things like, well, let me get the alert window. You can start setting things like, okay, tell me when. Tell me when the volume in the last minute was extraordinary compared to the previous 1 minutes. You set that at 1,000 or 2,000. So almost for sure, that's typically what happens in the low floaters. No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that volume has nothing to do. But your question was, is there a way to say, okay, if the volume is 10,000 shares or 20,000 shares or 100,000 shares on this stock, it's going to move it X cents. I mean, no. But you would think that if you set, like in here, why we get notified, say for these floaters on the move, is that the volume in the last minute is 2,000% of normal. All right, that's why we get an alert. I mean, the other filters are in place, but without these, but if we took this out, you'd get a lot of alerts. So what we're looking for here is, okay, show me something that's 2,000% of normal. More than likely, it will be a price increase too. But there's no guarantee. I mean, there's no magic formula that says, all right, for 100,000 shares of volume, it's going to move. Otherwise, yeah, you just stick, because we do have volume in 1 minute that you can set up. You could say, okay, if volume in 1 minute is 50,000 shares, it's going to go up 5 cents. No, it's there are a lot of things that take part in why a stock moves, of course. But yeah, volume is a huge indicator. Of course it is. In this particular case, the float, of course, that's why we zero in on these. PBR straight up, another earnings play. Okay, real, I did my job, maybe. Okay, what are the things you can tell? You find where is it? Just a second here. There you go, Muriel. I just put another price alert at 26.94 for MYGN. Just a minute. Where the heck is the magnifying glass? Haven't looked. There's a magnifying glass somewhere. Where the heck is it? Guys, help me out. Where's the magnifying glass? I'm sure it's still here. Oh, right. I forgot I have to go to the all-in-one. All right. At least I thought I did. Oh, there it is. Jeez. Okay, so you see there's that magnifying right there. I guess I had to go. So if you click on the magnifying glass, you see how it starts getting bigger? Okay. So that's how you can zoom in on the text if you're having a tough time seeing it. Haven't had to answer that question for a long time. Okay, just find that magnifying glass and you can zoom in and out. Okay, let me see if I can answer your question, Austin. Okay, real Yomi, I've been setting price alerts underneath MYGN constantly. All right, so who asked the question? Tech support? Okay, I have, okay, I see your question, AF. And I also see the other, Austin, I have to find your question, but let me answer. Okay, so every box in TI sends a symbol to the same link. What do you mean by the same link? So when I click on VG, what do you mean sending to the same link? I mean, right. In the external tools, for instance, external, you can link to many different, I've linked to Interactive Brokers, but I could set up a lot of different links if I wanted to. But maybe that's not I'm not quite understanding the question. One link for up gappers, one link for down gappers. I don't understand the question. I mean, these are two windows, they're separate. So what do you mean by link? Did I answer your question? I'm not understanding what you mean by, I mean, obviously we set different windows for different scenarios. So these are only going to show up gappers. These are only going to show down gappers. But maybe I'm not understanding your question. Okay, looking for Austin's. I don't know if that answered your question, but looking for Austin's question now. Where is it? Oh, okay, there it is. Actually, if you put a question after, then I'll see that it's a question number one, and then I can easily find it because it'll be blue. Okay, Austin, you'd have to give me your link, all right? Because I'd have to see not loading in real time. Okay, it's impossible for me to answer that question without you're giving me the link. So, okay, so just click on your window, and it's just one window, right? It's not a layout. Just give me a window you think is not giving alerts in real time. Now, is it an alert when it's an alert window, right? Not a TARDIS window. It's an A window. Okay, so just click whatever that window is. Right click, save. In fact, what I'm going to do is I want to unpin it just in case somebody wants to. So right click, save or share to cloud, save and share, copy all. So now it's copied. Now in the room, paste it, Control V, and it'll paste in, all right there. See how that pasted in? Then I can load it in my platform and I'll have a look at it. Okay, did you follow that? All right, I guess you did. Guarantee there'll be a reason. The reversal master, all right. So the alert is No, you got a bunch of them. So I'm assuming you got the alert right there. There's the topping tail I see for HTHT. There's the topping tail. It's actually, that's not a bad, people looking for reversals, a 5-minute topping tail might signify that that's it. I'd have to, I'll have to see when the next one comes, all right? I better put a sound alert. I thought we'd get more because you have several alerts here. I'll have to put a sound alert on it that I can then hear it. I'll give the rooster. All right. So hopefully I'll hear it. Well, I want to first see, I want to first see the next alert. All right. I want to see, make sure it is real time. Isn't that the question? That's the first step. ATIS. Yeah, I mean, look, it is starting to curl a little bit here. You just gotta be so careful on this. I mean, I don't know what the float really is. I mean, it may be that low. I doubt it. But you got to be so careful with this, but it is trying to curl. Yeah, it looks like it's a bit of a base here in that 250 area. It did hit 331. Did it? Okay. You're right, it did. HTHT right there. Yeah, right there. Well, actually, there is a component in here, I believe. Toppers. Yeah, I actually have a 5-minute high, I think. Yeah, 5-minute high, 2-minute hammer. Wouldn't you know it? You give me your link, and now I'm not getting any alerts. And I want to take my break now. I have to take my break now. I'm a little talked out. I will. I'll go to history, but I want to see. I want to see a first alert. I think it's going to have to wait, Austin. I'm sorry. I really have to take a break here. Look at this miserable. That's all I can call it. ZYNE is a miserable trade. Miserable. Not hold its gains. Earnings next week. All right, everybody. I have to take my break. Otherwise, my Eyes are going to fall out of my head. Okay, so I'll be back around 12:30. And I'll stick this here also. Just so you know, the test drive, I just want to again, and I'll put it up here, real, cover your ears. Cover your ears, everybody, right now. Okay, so again, just want to reiterate the test drive. Now I know it says starts May the 6th, but if you're not if you want to participate in the test drive, there's still time for you to do it. Wait for the market to close today. And then you can sign up for it and you'll get 5 full trading days. Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. All right? And it'll cost you $8.99 to try our premium service, just as if you were a premium subscriber. Okay, everybody. So we'll see you around 12:30. All right, everybody, I'm now back. So I see your I still only have one alert. I did a history, saw maybe 3 total, so not sure what to make of it. All right, just getting back into it here, taking a look at what's going on. Watching that IPO its way back up. PSN. I'm telling you, this is one I may take. You know, put maybe a stop around the 27 mark. I'd stop, and I'm also obviously I'd be anticipating. I have no idea if it'll happen, but more of a multi-dollar move. Though I have to say, I mean, 30. I mean, it's resting. Well, you can see Chewy here. It can take, yeah, if you can take this out here, it's an excuse me, earnings play. So going forward, 23.29 or so on the weekly chart, you can see that right there. 200-day is also around the same area. You can take that out at some point. Forward has a quite a bit of room. Wait for it. Pins is having a resurgence here. Well, Potbelly was a big fat nothing. Oh man. Put an alert down here for later on if it takes it out later on, but I mean, this is just sitting doing nothing. You know, out of nowhere, this little company, Astronics, never heard of it. And look at the break here. Look at the break on this daily, and not quite a weekly, but look at the break on the daily for this company. All right, little break here for this one. Now, I'm on the, well, that's actually far enough away. Weekly around 20, 1937. Again, another earnings play. What's the spread like? A good spread, only a nickel. Volume, doesn't trade very much, but it is an earnings play. Relatively low float, 31 million in the float. What a volume we have for this PSN right now? 11 million shares, okay, and 18.5 million at $27. So what did they raise here? So that's about $500 million they raised. Pretty big IPO. Second here, just answering an email. All right, this PSN is just inching its way up here. Love to see it get up to about 30, 31 or so. What are we at now? 30, 54, about 31, just at the high of those two, the bottom of those candles. I'm, boy, really looking to take this one and swinging it just with the pedigree behind it. Don't know if it'll have, doesn't look like it's going to be like a sensational multi-mover or multi-dollar mover like the, obviously like the Beyond and things like JMIAs, but might be steady. Well, It's Austin, right? I can't remember. It was you, Austin, right? This window you gave me, it doesn't really alert too many. I mean, that's okay. I mean, I guess it's called quality over, but I haven't had one since that HTHT, and I did the history. I saw about 4 all day. So I don't know what to say. I mean, I have no answer for you. Aha! I didn't even notice this. So this is our first green day, guys. What are we? Wednesday, right? So little ticker here, up here with the comp and the Dow SPX. This is something new, not available for you guys yet. Excuse me. I'm sure it'll be pretty soon. But the first 2 days, of course, we were red. Now at least we have some green today. You know what? This has a little bit of room. Look at the weekly chart, 784 or so, 791 or so. So it's at 857. It's an earnings play. 200-day is 1034. It's an earnings play. FTSE is an earnings play. Nice spread, if 2-cent spread. I think I mentioned this one a little while ago, a little break here. MODN, consolidation, MODN. That's right. I remember thinking it doesn't trade very much. Float, 31 million in the float. Does not trade very much. A big break on the daily, weekly, maybe coming into some resistance about 50 cents away or so. What a polite group we have. All right, guys, I'm just I'm sort of busy answering a few emails here. Again, I will say this again. If you have questions for me, please ask me in the room. Way easier for me to answer you in the room and demonstrate things on the screen. We can kind of work it out together rather than asking me in an email where I might have to go back and forth a couple of times with you. So don't feel you are interrupting me. That's why I'm here, all right? So you don't want it to break yesterday's high, Sam. Okay. We've got a great filter for that. Configure, position. In previous day's range, add the filter. So you just have to basically make sure it's under a 100. Well, I can do it on a percentage basis, all right? So you could say, if you said 98, for instance, if you want to zero in, you know, try this to start, all right? I have no idea how many alerts you're going to get. So you could put them in. So you want it to be near yesterday's high, but not over yesterday's high. So for instance, you could do something, and again, I don't know how many alerts you're going to get, but just for fun, do something like 95, 98. All right, 95, 98. So it's going to be within 2 to 5% of yesterday's high. Add other filters in. And then what I would do is I would sort it on this column. Now add this as a column and sort it on the column so that you get the ones very close to yesterday's high right at the top. It'll be within 2%. That make sense? And then, of course, just adjust this. If it's too far away, maybe make this, you know, you could go 97, 99. You may not get very many alerts. Now, there is another way. Yeah, so custom formula, do you know how to do that? Say yes. Say yes. Say yes. No, okay. That's okay. I'll show you how to do it. Let me just find show you how to do it. Actually, this will be pretty simple. Just give me a second here. Okay. So this is what you would do. The formula here, don't worry. I'm going to put the formula here and then you will, previous says high P. Okay, just talking to myself here. Okay, here's the formula you're going to use, all right? And I'll show you where you're going to put the formula. For future reference, you can also take a look at this. Here's our data points that we have for our custom formulas, pages 5 and 6, basically. But you don't have to look at that right now. So I'm going to bring you to the account management page. Okay, so what is that? So okay. Oh, okay. So when you click on that, and you should be here. You should see the account manager, formula editor, right? Okay. So if you've never created one before, which I doubt you have, then just find wherever it says create new. Mine's right at the bottom, but find the tab that says create new and click on it. Have you done that? Because when you click on it, you should get a source box. Okay, in that source box, copy and paste that formula that I put, the high underscore P minus price, exactly as it is. Type it in here. Or copy it in there, all right? Once you've done that, remember all our filters are searchable. Basically all you're doing is you're just creating a filter. That's all you're doing. but it's a custom filter, but it will be added to your filter list just like any other filter. So give it a name that makes sense to you, because again, you can search on these. So you might want to say near yesterday's high, just as an example, as a description. And units are dollars. I wouldn't worry about anything else. And then save it. Let me know if once you've done that, because then that filter, it'll be added just like a filter. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, you can copy and paste that formula in there. It's not that hard. Basically, all it means is the high underscore P means that's yesterday's high. That's our data point for yesterday's high. Minus price is the current price. So you can see what we're going to be able to do. All right. Okay, so do you have the source box open? Yeah, so go to that account management, that link that I had for account management. Go to that right there, and then find create new. I don't know, it's probably near the top somewhere. Should be a little tab called create new. All right. And when you click on create new, this source box, it'll be empty, but this source box should open up. Okay, so the source box is open up and it's blank. Now just copy and paste that formula. Well, then just type it in. Don't worry about just type it in. I mean, it's not hard. High. It has to be done exactly. All in lowercase. High underscore P minus price. I mean, it would just be this. High underscore P minus price. Okay, just type it in. If for whatever reason you're not able to. Okay, so is it in there? I have to know if this box opened up. If it didn't open up, let me know.